Right now at 5, Neosho's plan to recapture lost revenue from online shopping, how a new tax proposal could fund critical city services.
And we've had a pretty soggy weekend and the wet weather continues as we start the new work week. We'll have a look at the forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Silver Sage Renaissance Festival takes place at Landreth Park in Joplin over the weekend. We'll take you there.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. Of course, today is Memorial Day. We've had the whole Memorial Day weekend. I know the rain hasn't stopped anybody from necessarily going out and visiting loved ones, paying some respects, but it has cut back on some of the other recreational activities, and the rain continues today, and it will last through tomorrow. We still have other rain chances beyond that.
Goodness.
So a bit on the soggy side. It's just so wild. A year ago, we were reaching extreme levels of drought, and this year we're way over the amount of rain we should have. Let's take a look outside, though, at that camera downtown Pittsburgh at 4th and Broadway. And there it is. The roads are wet. We still have some scattered shower storms where, as you probably have noted through the weekend, we've just had those breaks periodically here and there. That's what we're getting again this morning. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line looking all right as well so far. Here's what we've got on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. At this point, just a number of scattered showers across the region, but you can see off to our west and south, more substantial rainfall is still on the way. So starting around Nevada into Vernon County, again, you can see we'll just take a quick little ride around with some of these spotty showers out there. Some of them have some heavier showers. Also ran into some fairly heavy drizzle on the way into the station this morning. Starting to see heavier rain creeping into parts of northeastern Oklahoma, so Miami, Fairland, Grove, Veneta, stretching down toward Jay. And then we have these spotty showers out into southeastern Kansas, into Labette, Montgomery counties, back toward Chautauqua and Elk counties, and then up to the north around Iola Yates Center, a few more of these spotty showers. Now, they're all still part of this whole system. It's been bringing us the scattered showers and storms. You can see we have more off to our west. We've got this bigger batch down to our south. Now, the bigger batch to our south looks to be kind of shifting southeast. So what will impact us next and be the next catalyst for some showers and storms will be this activity that's currently right into the Wichita area. We'll again have those scattered showers and storms today, so like we saw over the last few days, you might get a break in the rain for a little bit before more showers and storms begin to roll in as we continue through today, tonight, and into tomorrow. All right, right now 61 in Joplin, 59 in Pittsburgh, and temperatures will not really do a lot of moving. They haven't really moved a lot the last couple of days. Not going to do too much today either. We will have some gusty east winds though. But we're starting into the upper 50s, low to mid 60s, a little milder down to the south. Highs today, again, for the majority of us, low to mid 60s. And as you see through the entire day, temperatures really do not move much. Scattered showers, thunderstorms out there. And as I mentioned, those east winds gusting occasionally upwards of 25 miles an hour. Now, some good news is with our thunderstorm chances today and tomorrow, our severe threat has dropped. It's actually been removed from the map. So we're looking at just thunderstorms out there, which is good news. We'll talk about how much longer these showers and storms last and how much warmer we may get later this week here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. The Neosho City Council met on Friday. One topic of discussion, passing an emergency local use tax. City officials argue online shopping has led to out-of-state shopping, and that has led to a loss of revenue for the city by impacting local sales. A motion at Friday night's meeting proposed an increase to the use tax to help regenerate some of that lost revenue. That money would be used to fund public safety features like paying for law enforcement, fire department, and road maintenance. The Missouri Public Service Commission plans to hold its next town hall for Liberty Utilities customers. The commission organized the town halls to hear from Liberty customers who are experiencing issues with the utility provider's customer service and/or billing practices. The decision to hold town halls comes after the Missouri Public Service Commission voted 5-0 to launch an investigation into these issues. The next town hall meeting will be held June 12th at 6 p.m. at the Missouri Southern Criminal Justice Auditorium. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The Silver Sage Renaissance Festival took place over the weekend at Landreth Park in Joplin. KOAM's Mitch Adams arms up and brings us more details.
Between the smithing of weapons and battles between knights, the Silver Sage Renaissance Festival brings history to life. Originally starting in western Kansas, the festival has officially moved to Joplin.
As much as I loved living out there, I live here. And at the end of the day, Joplin's amazing. There's a serious history here, and I'm not a Joplinite, so when I say this, I'm not trying to interlope, but I have a deep respect for what people have gone through over the most recent years, as well as the mining history within Joplin.
People traveled state to state to be a part of the festival.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of planning that's gone into this. It's really exciting to see. Everyone's come from such a distance. Like, we have a vendor right behind you that's from Scott City, Kansas. I mean, she drove 7.5 hours to be here.
Some performers see what lengths their body can be pushed to. Steve Amon does it all from breathing fire to lying on a bed of nails. Amon says these festivals are great for bringing people together.
Once you get associated with people, for example, like Jackie is here, it's family. And I will relate back to circus. Circus is family. And this is as close as you can get to a modern day circus and these, lack of better words, the relationships that you develop.
Renaissance festivals are an opportunity for people of all generations to experience life during the Middle Ages.
Just getting the people here and then seeing people coming in through the gates. You know, we're small right now. This is our first year, and we're doing this on a day where we just got hit with an intense amount of rain. And people are still coming in, and that's an amazing thing.
In Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The EPA aims to erase greenhouse gas limits on power plants in the United States. Plus, President Trump lashes out at Russian President Vladimir Putin over his continued attacks on Ukraine. And we're tracking rain chances for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, the Environmental Protection Agency has drafted a plan to eliminate all limits on greenhouse gases from power plants in the United States. According to internal agency documents reviewed by the New York Times, the EPA argued that carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases from power plants, quote, do not contribute significantly to dangerous pollution or to climate change, and that eliminating those emissions would have no meaningful impact on public health or welfare. Scientists have overwhelmingly concluded the opposite and argued that carbon dioxide, methane, and other greenhouse gases are dangerously heating the planet. The agency is proposing to repeal all greenhouse gas emission standards for fossil fuel-fired power plants. The proposed regulation is part of a broader attack by the Trump administration, which is aiming to prove that the science around greenhouse gases and its threat to human health and the environment is wrong. Today, President Donald Trump will mark Memorial Day and honor the nation's fallen by laying a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery. Over the weekend, the president turned his focus to Russia's war on Ukraine, railing against Russian President Vladimir Putin, saying he's not happy with him. It comes less than a week after the president held a 2-hour call with Putin in an effort to move towards peace negotiations. Meanwhile, President Trump says he plans to postpone his tariffs against the European Union. Wendy Gillette has more from New York.
President Trump is lashing out at Russian President Vladimir Putin over his country's continued attacks on Ukraine, posting on social media that Putin has gone absolutely crazy.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people. We're in the middle of talking and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
The comments came after a big and deadly Russian drone barrage over the weekend and following a massive prisoner swap between Russia and Ukraine. On social media, the president also railed against Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky's rhetoric, saying, quote, everything out of his mouth causes problems. Over the weekend, President Trump also announced he's postponing a 50% tariff on goods from the European Union from June 1st to July 9th instead. The change of heart came after the president spoke with the president of the European Commission Sunday.
She asked for an extension on the June 1st date. and she said she wants to get down to serious negotiation.
Meanwhile, congressional Republicans aired out their split over the House-passed budget package, which President Trump has dubbed the one big beautiful bill.
What this bill is going to do is be jet fuel to the U.S. economy.
The idea that we're going to explode deficits, I think, is just, not a serious proposal.
Yesterday, President Trump said he believes the Senate will, quote, get there on the measure, and he encouraged senators to make the changes they want to the bill. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
President Trump says there's been some real progress in talks with Iran over its nuclear program and that there could eventually be some good news on that front. Though for now, the president says he hopes talks continue. Still to come, a new study suggests that popular weight loss drugs could reduce the risk of cancer. Plus, Chris Warner returns with another look at your Monday forecast. We'll be right back. A dad graduating from a New York university has gone viral after sprinting past security and onto the commencement stage while carrying his baby. But he says he secured permission for the stunt in advance. Jeremy Roth explains in today's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at the moment a new dad grad sprinted across the University of Buffalo commencement stage with his cap and gown clad infant son in tow. In a now viral video on TikTok, former student Jean-Paul Al-Arab says he was told in a commencement prep class he'd be allowed to carry his baby boy across the stage with him, but said when the time came, he and his son were stopped by security. So Al-Arab decided to ignore officers' directives and instead sprinted on stage with his infant to collect his degree in criminology. The video has since been viewed millions of times on TikTok, and the university issued a statement saying despite breaking the rules, the graduate will not be penalized and will still receive his degree. They also addressed the infant, saying, "We hope to see him back on stage in about 20 years so he can follow in his dad's footsteps." Baby or no, the show must go on.
We do have some breaking news this morning. Literally.
Yes.
Olivia's water has broke.
That's
and
right.
she is anchoring the news now in active labor.
Early labor.
Yep, Albany, New York's WRGB-TV says their expectant anchor, Olivia Jakewith, went into labor as she was preparing the morning newscast. So she decided to soldier on through the 3-hour show, providing updates along the way.
I'd rather be at work than at the hospital.
Something you'll never hear come out of my mouth.
Jakewith's co-anchor Julia Dunn also happens to be expecting and gave her intrepid partner in crime plenty of well-deserved prego props.
I'll do my best.
High
which
five, girl.
means
Whole
maybe
show.
you
Look at
won't
that.
see me
3 hours of news.
That's right.
In contractions. I think that's a first for CBS 6.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Now that is some commitment to the job. Congratulations to her. And now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
There are people, that are ill and they try and make it through the day, but that is a completely different situation, so my hat is off to her. We've got more showers, more storms on the way, as you can see on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Now look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 522 on this Monday, Memorial Day, and another day of showers and storms out there. Now, right now on Skywatch Storm Tracker, showers are very scattered at this point, but you can see a few stretching from Nevada back down east of Sheldon, around Lamar, and eventually pushing east. We've got some heavier showers rolling into the Pittsburgh area right now. A few sprinkles in Joplin. Columbus, you're sandwiched in between a couple of rounds of rain. Northeast Oklahoma, though, got a little heavier rain out there, but this activity, believe it or not, is pushing south and east. Back up into southeast Kansas, we've got some rain northwest of Independence, southwest of Parsons, around Sedan, Howard, north of Chanute, near Yates Center and Iola, and a little shower there north of Fort Scott on 54. So again, the heavier rain down here is actually moving at this time southeast. Our next weather maker for additional shower and thunderstorm development is going to be this activity that's running the 135 and 35 corridors along into the immediate west of that point near Wichita. That activity is actually slowly but surely filling in. As you can see, we've seen some new development take place pretty quickly as well, and it'll eventually start to push off to the east. And again, this activity down here, believe it or not, is shifting southeast, so we don't have to worry too much about that, but we do have additional showers and thunderstorms on the way. But like we've seen the last few days, it is going to be the same situation today. We're going to get showers, we're going to get thunderstorms, and you'll have some moments where maybe where you're at, it just stops stops raining for an hour or so before it picks up again. So unfortunately, don't let the rain deceive you. If it stops, it's not done yet. It won't actually be done technically for the next few days, but the heavier and more consistent rain won't be done until tomorrow night sometime. So here we go overnight, another little pause in shower and thunderstorm activity. Now tomorrow, our shower and thunderstorm chances become a bit more scattered across the area because they will, again, the widespread rainfall that we've been seeing the last couple of days will start to gradually wind down as we go late Tuesday into Wednesday, early on Wednesday. Now by Wednesday, the first half of our day looks great. We could get an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm by late evening or afternoon, but those chances are pretty low, so we're actually going to get an opportunity to begin to dry out. It's just we're not going to see our rain chances reach zero quite yet. So again, scattered showers, thunderstorms through the morning. Temperatures really just hovering out there. They will gradually and eventually make it into about the low to mid 60s for most of us with scattered storms. Will also be a bit breezy, east winds occasionally gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Into the evening we go. Scattered storms, scattered storms, scattered storms, more scattered storms. And again, temperatures slowly falling. That's one advantage to the cloud cover and the rain. Temperatures, while they're not warming up a lot by the daytime hours, they're not cooling off a lot by the overnight either. Back down to the upper 50s. Still breezy though. East winds occasionally gusting 20-25 miles an hour. Again, scattered storms for us tomorrow. We'll have a north wind, and that's going to be kind of that indication it's finally pushing this stuff out of here. Upper 60s, maybe some low 70s. A little warmer Wednesday and Thursday. Still a few isolated evening pop-up storms. A few scattered showers on Thursday. So I say we're not done with it yet. It won't be, which is of course a 1 week too late. But this weekend, we're looking to dry out finally, get some sunshine in here. Temperatures returning to or just a hair above normal as well as we start going back into the upper 70s and low 80s. And by the middle of next week, that's another round of scattered shower and thunderstorm chances for us. That's checking your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Doctors are looking into whether popular weight loss drugs could help prevent cancer. A study published by the American Society of Clinical Oncology showed that because obesity is linked to certain cancers, people with diabetes who take drugs like Wegovy, Ozempic, or Zepbound have a 7% lower risk of cancer and an 8% lower risk of death. There were more than 1.5 million preventable deaths in the U.S. in 2022 and 2023. A study published in JAMA showed that these so-called excess deaths are due to things like drug overdoses, gun violence, and cardiovascular disease, and are far higher than other high-income countries. The authors worry that recent Trump administration cuts to public health could even cause even more deaths. Our immune systems are stronger during daylight hours. A study by the University of Auckland found that white blood cells that help prevent infections are more effective in the morning hours. Researchers say this could be an evolutionary response, since we're more likely to encounter bacterial infections during the daytime. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, local organizations get folks in the spring spirit with a local plant sale.
And we've got more scattered showers and thunderstorms on the way for us on our Memorial Day Monday. A look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
And we'll take you to the 25th annual Katy Days. What's going on there?
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. Of course, it is now Monday. It is Memorial Day, May the 26th. And of course, this whole weekend has been filled with showers and storms across the region. Now, as we've seen, too, it hasn't stopped folks from getting out and paying respects and having a good time here and there, but it's limited the amount of fun you can have as well. And the rain will continue at least through tomorrow, unfortunately.
I know. I mean, I'm like, I have my umbrella at all times. It feels like
you
these
almost
few days.
need it. Yeah, and with the way the storms have been scattered, it kind of throws you off. It stops raining for an hour or two, and you think you're done, and the next thing you know, there's more of it out there. And how much more of it is out there? Well, we're going to show you here in just a moment. But first, that look in downtown Pittsburgh at 4th and Broadway. Now, if you look close enough, it looks like some of the shower activity has kind of eased up a bit, but we did have a little shower over Pittsburgh Pittsburgh, and you can actually see the rain falling there on our camera 4th and Broadway. MoDOT camera 32nd and Rangeline, wet roadways as well. Now, we don't have a lot of widespread rain in our immediate area, but we do have a few isolated showers out there. We've got this one again. It's rolling through Pittsburgh, so southern Crawford County, through the bulk of Cherokee County. A few light sprinkles into the Joplin area, some scattered showers up here, Barton, Vernon counties as well. Not much to see at this point. Hey, you go a little further south, especially around Veneta and Langley. We've had a little heavier rain down there, but this batch of heavier rain here in Oklahoma is actually moving southeast. The next round of fair rain that we've got is off to our west. It's this activity that you see here, kind of paralleling 135 and the I-35 corridors out there, progressively making its way to the east. Now, ahead of it, as you can see, almost like folks in a crowd doing the wave. You see how it sets off some showers, even a couple of thunderstorms, and they kind of fizzled right back out. So we'll see what we get out of this, but this will be the next opportunity for some showers and storms. And then here in the last few frames, it looks as though some of this activity is trying to push north. Really, it's just kind of developing a little further north, but this bulk of heavy rain, again, still pushing off to the south and east. Future track by noon. If you were guessing scattered showers and storms, well, congratulations, you are correct. And if you're guessing that's how it's going to be the whole day, you have won the prize. I don't know what prize it is. I guess it's more rainfall, but that's what we've got today. Just continued scattered showers and storms. So some good news is, over the weekend, we did have some low-end severe threats out there. No areas highlighted over the next few days for severe weather for us this go-around, which is some good news. Just some rain and a few rumbles of thunder. 61 in Joplin, 59 in Pittsburgh right now. And temperatures where we're at now, they will not move a lot through the day because of the cloud cover and the rain. So we got upper 50s, low to mid 60s as you get a little further to the south, and low to mid 60s, and again, maybe even a couple upper 50s is where our highs are headed. So that'll be it with those showers and storms, and a bit breezy as well. East winds occasionally gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Now, you're probably sitting at home going, okay, you've said rain, you said rain, you said rain, you said rain. There's got to be a point where you don't say rain, and there is. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Memorial Day weekend has been an onslaught with constant rain and storms. A powerful storm swept across the central part of the United States just as Memorial Day holiday weekend got underway. One of the hardest hit areas is in Springfield, Missouri. Heavy downpours triggered flooding in some areas. The storm washed out some roads, and first responders had to rescue a number of people trapped in the rising waters. The rain combined with strong winds knocked out power to thousands of people on Saturday. The storm uprooted trees and brought down power lines. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. That's the KOAM Skywatch weather app. With spring season in peak form, organizations are putting plants on display and on sale. The Bees and Blossoms Market held at the Joplin Empire Market got the summer kicked off Saturday. Those who attended got a free native tree bush seedlings from Missouri Department of Conservation.
You need to know that it's not you lose beehives, bee swarms, you just lose them. There's not necessarily any reason for it. So go into it not expecting a lot of money a first year or two. It's a learning process, and it's just going to take you a while to get into knowing how to operate your bees.
The Jasper County Farm Bureau was also at the market to give a presentation on bees. Another place to get your hands on some plants over the weekend was the Shoal Creek Nature Center. The spring native plant sale had a multitude of options for people to choose from. All plants are known to be native to the region.
They are a better source of nectar and pollen for our pollinators, and like I said, they belong here. So native plants are plants that occur naturally here in Missouri, making them more adapted to the environment that we have, and all the animals we have here are more adapted to them as well. So they're just the best option.
Native plants are known to benefit homeowners with their ability to adapt to the environment and their ability to be less dependent on pesticides. The city of Parsons, Kansas kicked off its annual Katy Days Festival on Friday. The festival features everything from horseshoe and cornhole tournaments to sand volleyball, a tractor show, photo contest, bingo, food trucks, live music, and much more.
If you've never experienced Parsons, now is the time to do it, especially during this festival. You'll find the most friendliest people in the world. You'll find people who will, greet you with a smile, talk to you, get to know you. I mean, Parsons has been through a lot, especially in the past 25 years.
The festival is named after the first train that rolled into Parsons back in 1870, which would be remembered as the Katy. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. President Trump delays tariffs on the European Union as talks with European leaders move forward. Plus, Aldi's is recalling its Atlantic salmon due to undeclared soy. We'll have the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, President Donald Trump said he'll delay implementation of a 50% tariff on goods from the European Union. This order will run from June 1st until July 9th to buy time for negotiations. The announcement comes after the president spoke with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen Sunday. Von der Leyen says the 27-member bloc is ready to advance talks swiftly and decisively. Aldi is recalling its Atlantic salmon portions with seafood stuffing because they may contain undeclared soy. The FDA says people who have soy allergies could suffer a life-threatening reaction. The salmon was distributed in Aldi stores in Arizona, California, and Nevada. Customers can return the recalled product to the store for a full refund. And lots of moviegoers chose to celebrate Ohana this Memorial Day weekend, with Disney's live-action Lilo & Stitch pulling in more than $145 million domestically. Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning was second with $63 million. Final Destination: Bloodlines was third with more than $19 million. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've still got some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms out there this morning. Not much yet, but more rain on the way. We'll go over those details with you when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Today, as we honor Memorial Day with friends and families, we reflect on the importance of why we have the freedoms we do. Farm Journal Machinery's Pete brings us a classic John Deere H built during World War II that has special meaning for one Indiana collector.
We've got a 1940 John Deere Model H. Well, this is part of my grandpa's original collection, and he got it about 20 years ago. He had always wanted a Model H since he was a kid. There's something special about these little row crops. He had grown up on a farm, and as luck would have it, one year he was up at Berrien County Youth Fair just kicking tires and looking at tractors, and this one happened to be for sale, and he bought it on site. This one had sat for a long time, and the magneto was junk on it. Good friend of mine who's since passed, the guy was an electrical wizard, and we rebuilt the magneto on it and kind of went through the carburetor a little bit. It's been a good runner ever since. This is nothing more than a show and parade tractor. It's probably hasn't seen the plow in 50 years. Shows are a little more my speed, because I love this parade, but I call it my yearly logistical nightmare, because when you're moving heavy equipment, you have to trailer it in. So how do you get two tractors, a truck, and a trailer from point A to point B with only two drivers through a large crowd of people in blocked off streets? It's an absolute nightmare. So tractor shows, on the other hand, is bring your stuff, set it up, sit back and enjoy. It was one of my grandpa's favorites, and it's a pleasure to drive. I love it. It'll never get sold.
Now here's Chris with a full look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're starting, of course, with the Skywatch Storm Tracker this morning because right now there's not a lot out there. We do have some heavier showers, or at least some light showers to moderate showers. Southern Crawford County, Cherokee County, back into northeastern Oklahoma and Benton County, and then just spotty showers here and there across the rest of the area. Eventually, this activity that's just a hair off to our west will continue to push off to the east and be the catalyst, even though it doesn't look like much right now. You can see where some of it's fading out. We'll start to see it fire back up and get additional scattered shower and thunderstorm chances as we roll into the afternoon hours here in the 4 states. So another day of rain. I know the entire Memorial Day weekend has pretty well been rained out at this point, and it will continue. This rain actually continues through tomorrow as well. So here's the future track by noon. The good news is, you may recall over the weekend, both days, we had some low to elevated risks for strong to potentially severe thunderstorms. We did see a couple of those from Friday through the weekend. The good news is no severe risk areas highlighted anywhere in our area for today or tomorrow with our continuing thunderstorm chances. Just that light green color, which is simply general thunderstorms. And at least we've got that piece of good news. We don't have to worry about any of this activity taking off. Showers, thunderstorms will continue overnight. We'll get another pause, similar to what we're experiencing now, where there'll be some isolated showers to start our Tuesday. Otherwise dry and quiet. And then as we go through the day Tuesday, shower and thunderstorm chances start to pick up again. But as we roll through the afternoon and into the evening hours on our Tuesday, it looks like a lot, but believe it or not, the shower and thunderstorm chances will finally be coming to a gradual end. Now, we're not completely done with rain chances this week, but the bulk of the widespread rain will begin to wrap up by late Tuesday into very early Wednesday, which is fantastic. We need a bit of a break from this rain. By Wednesday morning, we start mostly cloudy to just straight up cloudy. And as we roll through the morning, initially we see a brief period of clearing before we start to go partly cloudy, rolling into the afternoon. And by the late afternoon, early evening, an isolated shower or rumble of thunder will be possible from afternoon Wednesday into the late night hours Thursday. But the good news is those chances, at least through Wednesday, are relatively low, but then they pick back up just a hair as we roll into Thursday, which we'll talk about in the extended forecast. All right, cloudy skies, 7th and range line in Joplin, and well, the roads are still wet and everything else is still on the damp side out there, because even though right now in Joplin's not really raining, still had plenty of rain. We still have more on the way. Scattered thunderstorms through the morning. Now take a look at these temperatures, 59, 59, 60. It's because with the cloud cover and just all the dreariness out there in general, the temperatures are not going to move a lot today. Some of you may actually top out in the upper 50s. I think 90% of us will be a little warmer than that, but there might be some upper 50s out there. Temperatures, again, just kind of hovering, and will eventually reach highs in the low to mid 60s across the region. Now down south in the northeastern Oklahoma, it is a little warmer. You're already in the mid 60s, but also similar to what we're seeing here, those temperatures will not fluctuate much. Where you're at now is very close to what your actual high will be because those temperatures kind of hover. Also a bit breezy. East winds occasionally gusting to 25. Those east winds still gusting 20, 25 overnight tonight. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. And because, again, of that nice cloud cover, not that we like it, but it does trap in some of the warmish air, as our temperatures don't really drop that much overnight tonight, falling back into the mid to upper 50s. Now, tomorrow, winds will shift out of the north at about 5 to 10, and that will be kind of that catalyst to start moving things out of here. Will be a little warmer too, upper 60s, maybe a couple of low 70s here and there. And we hang on, low 70s. Again, a few evening or late afternoon shower storms Wednesday. A few more scattered showers on our Thursday. And then Thursday, thankfully, is the last real rain chance we have for a while, just in time for at least this upcoming weekend to begin to clear out and heat back up. So we get a little closer to normal into the upper 70s and low 80s with a few additional scattered storm chances by next Wednesday. Let's check your forecast. We're going to toss it over to Samantha now for a check of sports.
Thanks, Chris. Today in sports, after dropping their first game of the season Saturday, the Joplin Outlaws look to clinch their series with the Fort Smith Marshals. But Mother Nature had other plans. Joplin's game was postponed and moved to July 16th. Next up, the Outlaws travel to Abilene, Texas to take on the undefeated Flying Bison on Tuesday. But in the major leagues, the Royals and Cardinals are able to close out their weekend series. And while St. Louis aims for a sweep over the Diamondbacks, the Royals look to avoid getting swept by the Twins. Royals back at Target Field for the series finale against the Twins. In the first, Ty France hits a single into center, and Ryan Jeffers comes home to score from second. Twins lead by 1. The Royals can't get anything done offensively until the 7th, when Freddie Furman lines one into the gap. Drew Waters scores easily, and we're all tied up. Then in the 10th, 2 outs, Michael Garcia slaps this ball over the infield. Nick Lofton rounds third, and he's safe. Royals lead 2-1, but the Twins have 2 runners on with 2 outs. Brooks Lee grounded back up the middle. Bobby Witt is there, and he makes the throw just in time. And the Royals escape Minnesota with the 2-1 win and avoid the sweep. The Cardinals look to sweep the Diamondbacks in the first. Arizona has 2 runners on, 2 outs, and Eugenia Suarez drops the ball into right. Both runs score, and the D-backs take an early 2-run lead. But St. Louis gets 1 back in the first, then in the third. Marcin Wynn blasts this ball deep to left. It's gone, and we're all tied up. In the 7th, we're knotted at 3, but with a man on second, Victor Scott lines a ball off Kettle Marte and into right field, and the Cardinals take the lead. And 9th, Marte pops one into foul territory, and Nolan Arendo makes the catch as he falls into the seats. Now there's 2 outs, and Bill Mayton gets Lourdes Quirrell to swing and miss. So the Redbirds win 4-3, completing a sweep over the D-backs. That's a look at some of your top sport headlines. We'll be right back. The streets of Lima, Peru were a sea of red noses, extravagant shoes, and colorful outfits as clowns gathered to celebrate their big day. That's right, Sunday was designated Clown Day. The event included awards for the best costumes, makeup, routine, and improvisation. It takes place every year on May 25th. All the clowning around has a serious side. About 200,000 people work as clowns in Peru. The group is trying to get Parliament to give the day official recognition. That would give the clowns access to government funds and the possibility of establishing clowning schools. Some people like to fly kites on Memorial Day. Others prefer their flying machines in a different form. This is their day. It's National Paper Airplane Day. People who have been making them since at least 1909. Some people think they were doing it as much as 2,000 years ago in China. Though you've got to think, if they were making paper airplanes, they probably would have beaten the Wright brothers at making a real one. The largest paper airplane was created in Germany in 2013. It had a wingspan of almost 60 feet. And Joe Aob holds the record for longest distance a paper airplane flew at 226 feet. Even though you think you know how to make a paper airplane, there are several different ways. Hit the internet and look up a new design to try.
I actually can make no good paper airplanes, but they, hold on here. It's a shame you can't see this terrible process, but I don't have a table. Okay, this is the worst paper airplane on the face of the planet. They're awful. I can't do it. I'll see if it actually can. Well, at least it didn't completely nosedive. I figured it was going to go straight into the ground there. But, well, hopefully you can make better paper planes than I can, because, boy, this one just did not go anywhere. Wow, that's awful. All right, scattered thunderstorms as we go through the morning. Temperatures not moving much. And again, something I do want to stress, which is some good news. Over the weekend, we did have some low-end severe threats, and we did have some strong to severe thunderstorms. We don't have any severe risk areas highlighted for today into tomorrow. So now we're back to just general thunderstorms. And temperatures, again, as I mentioned, not really moving much, hovering upper 50s, right around 60 through the morning. Eventually, we'll make into the low to mid-60s. Now, some of our counties in northeast Oklahoma, you're already in the mid-60s, and your temperatures, just like everybody else, won't move much through the day from where they are now. On top of the thunderstorms, we'll have some non-thunderstorm winds out of the east, occasionally gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Temperatures, again, gradually fall back very slowly, eventually into the upper 50s. More scattered showers and storms overnight, and east winds still a bit gusty. Now, winds tomorrow afternoon shift out of the north. Scattered storms continue, start wrapping up late in the day. A few late afternoon, evening storms Wednesday, not many, and then a few more showers Thursday before we clear out into this weekend. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.